Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel in the first place. Today I'll be reading track 11, Rude Magic, by BNHA on AO3 and Tumblr. As always, links will be in the description, and let's go ahead and get into it. Oopsie, wait, I forgot the summary. So, summary, a princess should not be as close with her butler as you are with yours. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it. You wake up, as you do every day, with a pillow being thrown in your face. You can't fault Shinso. You sleep like the dead, and he learnt quickly that trying to wake you up in any other way than violently, it just wasn't going to work. You groan, flipping around and burying your head deeper into the soft silk pillows stacked beneath your head. Up you get, princess. You've got a lot of work to do. He scolds lightly, opening your curtains and letting in the harsh morning light. You groan louder, throwing the pillow back at him. He makes an unimpressed noise as it hits his back. That's not very ladylike of you. Throwing pillows at ladies is not very gentlemanly of you either. You grumble. You push yourself up, leaning on your elbows. Your hair is a mess, and you push the unruly strands out of your face to fix him with an unhappy look. It is too early to wake me up. The sun has barely passed the horizon. Shinso tilts his head, strands of lavender hair brushing against his face. Was it not you who told me to wake you the moment it was light outside? You had, but that's neither here nor there. You tell him as much, and Shinso rolls his eyes. You have about 1,000,000 things to do today. An early start is a good one. All right. Shinso stands at the foot of your bed, hands clasped behind his back. Shall I prepare your morning tea? Yes, please. You huff, finally getting up out of bed. Shinso disappears for a moment and returns carefully carrying a tray. You're not surprised with the speed it takes him to produce it. He knows your morning routine better than you do, and you're sure he has it ready before you even tell him you want it. The floor is cold against your bare feet when you finally stand, and you thank him softly as you grab the cup, taking a long sip. You sigh happily, feeling the warmth spread through you. You place the cup back on the tray and clap your hands together determinedly. Okay, so what's on my agenda today? You walk over to your closet, surveying your dresses and skirts. When you were younger, your father insisted you had maids dress you and bathe you and practically breathe down your neck constantly. You hated every second of it. The day you turned 18, you put your foot down, insistent that you didn't need anyone helping you with anything anymore. Shinso is the only exception. Well, you have a dress fitting at 12 o'clock, then your English lessons, Shinso rattles off. Oh, and then, of course, your father's ball in the evening. You frown, hands pausing where you'd been fitting through your clothes. Another? Another. You sigh irritatedly. Ugh, I think I'll be old and withered by the time he's finished throwing them. Shinso shrugs, leaning against your bedroom door. It's ball season. That's to be expected. You turn to Shinso. And it's still so tiresome and boring. Shinso snorts a laugh. Why are you sulking so much? What's the issue in dressing up and eating food? You do sound a bit ridiculous. There are thousands of girls who would kill to be in the position you're in, and here you are, complaining about being pampered. Apologies. I don't mean to sound so spoiled, you say sheepishly, turning back to your closet. Shinso smiles slightly. Ever so humble, our princess. You pick out a dress and corset, walking over and laying them across your bed. Your nightgown flutters around your legs, and it pillows around you as you sit down on the edge of your bed. You smooth your hands over the material. All right, please leave so I can change. Are you sure you do not need any assistance? Shinso hums. A proper butler should never leave his lady looking anything less than perfect. You ignore the playful lilt in his voice and the flush that spreads through your cheeks at being called his lady. You turn your head, waving him off. I will be quite all right, thank you. Shinso sighs dejectedly, bowing. Very well. I will be outside if you need me. You're sure if people heard the way he speaks sometimes, when it's just the two of you, and there's no one else around, he would be fired on the spot. Maybe something worse if your father was not in a forgiving mood. But you love it. He talks to you like you're just you, not a princess or royalty. You think it also helps that he's easy on the eyes. Shinso worked a few years in the King's Guard before he became your lord-in-waiting. There was an incident. You heard whispered in the halls of the castle, something that rendered him unable to fight. You've thought about asking him once or twice, but he gets awfully wistful whenever you pass the new knight's training in the grounds, so you decide not to. He was too good to lose, so your father appointed him as your butler and guard all in one. That being said, the hard muscles and lean body he had earned from all of his training hadn't yet faded. Not that you noticed it that much. You don't like Shinso just because he's good-looking. It's just nice to talk to a man who treats you like every other girl, and not untouchable royalty. Most men you speak to act like they're one wrong word away from being banished from the kingdom, and the rest are more interested in becoming king than becoming anything meaningful to you. And who are you to turn down a bit of harmless flirting? You manage to get everything on by yourself, apart from your corset. You try, in vain, to tighten the intricate strings on the back, but you can barely see them from the mirror on your vanity. You sigh irritatedly and call Shinso back in. The door opens almost instantly, and Shinso steps inside, shooting you a smile. You've called me back so quickly? I knew you couldn't resist my expert services. You roll your eyes. Sure, if that is what you need to believe. You hold the corset tightly against your chest. It's not the first time he's done this for you, but you still feel nervous at the exposed skin of your back and shoulders being so plainly in his view. Shinso sees the loose laces and already knows what you need. Turn around for me, he murmurs, unless you'd rather stay half-dressed. You shoot him a look but turn away. Shinso's fingers brush up against your back as he picks up the soft laces. So mouthy, you tut, and Shinso huffs the laugh. It's still early, and the sunlight casts shadows over your room. Shinso had opened your windows in the morning, so a cold breeze settles over your skin. You pretend that is the reason for the goosebumps on your arms. You brace yourself as he tightens them, sucking in a breath. You'd think you'd get used to having your insides squished together in these things, but it never gets any easier. Shinso's hand trails higher, and you can feel the warmth of his skin on your own as he works. His breath ghosts against your ear as he leans in. I think you like mouthy. It's much more interesting. You don't respond to that, mainly because you're not sure what you can say without sounding as flustered as you feel. He ties off the laces and smooths his hands down the soft material. All finished. You look at yourself in the reflection of your bedroom mirror. This dress is one of your favorites. The material is so soft, layers of tulle and dark green fabric that puff around your legs. There are jewels sewn into the lining, and when you step into the light, they glint and shimmer. Shinso's hands leave your waist, almost reluctantly. It's a crime such a pretty dress is wasted on your morning duties. You smile slightly, brushing the material down. Well, do not worry. I'm sure I'll have a prettier dress to wear tonight, and I'm sure father has lined up enough suitors to ogle at me all they'd like. Shinso can hear the bitterness in your tone, and you can feel his eyes on you as he takes a step back. You don't seem particularly excited about that. You regard yourself in the mirror, shaking your head. Would anyone be? These men, they... they all have the same goal in mind. The same as my father. He's very adamant that I find a husband sooner rather than later. You fiddle with the fabric of your skirts, the material soft as you twirl it around your fingers nervously. Shinso walks forward and you turn to face him. He unhooks your fingers from the skirt, smiling slightly. You're still young. You have time. You raise an eyebrow. I'm not young. We are the same age, no? Yes. There are very different expectations expected of us, though, he muses. But tonight will be fun. You cross your arms, glancing up at him. It never is. You're lucky. You only have to sit on the sidelines and watch the rest of us act a fool. I'm only interested in watching one of you. You wave him off, biting back a smile. He's so close, close enough that a few inches more and you would be touching. And then you could finally do what your brain has been begging for since the first time you spoke. It lingers in your mind for longer than it should, and takes a good deal of effort to ignore. Instead of doing anything stupid, you take a step back and pray that he ignores how nervous you look, that there's a chance he doesn't even notice it. I should go. I've got a busy day ahead. You smile faintly, grabbing your hairbrush from your dresser. If Shinso has any protests about your dismissal of him, he doesn't voice them. He only nods, moving closer to the door. I'll be outside to escort you to the tailor once you're ready. Yes, thank you. You smile, the brush going limp in your hand as the door shuts quietly behind him. You don't call him back this time. Dress fittings are very uncomfortable occasions. Being stood in a room of about 6 people all staring at every curve and contour of your body is your worst nightmare. And they aren't shy. No, your father appoints the best of the best, and the best of the best seem to think their words are gospel, and that they can say and do whatever they like. You've actually had one of them grip the fat of your thighs and tut, and insist you skip dessert for the next few weeks if you want to fit into a nicer dress. You hate them all, except for Hakamata. He doesn't talk much, but he's patient, and seems to care more about how you feel than if his dresses get worn. He's worked for your family for years, and you're glad that you at least have him to save you from the other two. Unfortunately, you don't think he can make today's fitting, which is why you're wearing the monstrosity that you are. You're standing on the small podium so they can all see you properly, and you frown at your reflection in the mirror. The dress is too frilly and comically big. You're unsure of how they even expect you walk around in this without falling flat on your face. You look completely ridiculous, and judging by how Shinso is refusing to meet your eye from the corner of the room, he agrees too. Suzuki bites her bottom lip, worriedly as she examines you, fluffing up the skirt. Is it too pink? It's too pink. Ito nods. You nod. Yes, Suzuki quickly weighs you off. No offense, darling, but let us professionals decide this, okay? She says, flashing you one of her fake smiles that show way too many teeth. You want to say that you're both agreeing, so your opinion is clearly not any less valid than hers, but instead you give her a tight-lipped smile and focus your attention back to your reflection. They gawk at you for a moment more before Ito ushers you over to the folding screen so you can get changed into the next dress they have waiting for you. You're thankful to be rid of this suffocating material, and you stand and wait for them to pass you the next one. They take their time looking through the options while you stand half-naked waiting for them. You feel too exposed in just your undergarments, and you cross your arms over your chest and try not to storm out of the room. The two idiots are arguing over whose dress should be tried on next. It's by God's saving grace that the doors to the room open, and Hakamata walks in with his own garments draped over his arm. Apologies for my lateness, Your Majesty. He bows, and you peek your head over the side of the folding screen so you can beam at him. No worries, I'm glad you could make it. Shinso takes the dresses from his arms and hangs them up on one of the clothing racks near the front of the room. They share some small conversations. They know each other back when Shinso was a knight and Hakamata was designing their uniforms. You see a wistful look in his eyes, and you wonder if he misses working out in the field instead of being with you. Ito and Suzuki immediately look annoyed upon Hakamata's arrival, and you roll your eyes at the sour expressions they have on their face. Hakamata, we thought you couldn't make it today. The smile on Ito's face looks like it pains him, and you stifle a laugh. I thought I'd be held up, but I was not, he states. Is it my turn to present my tress? Maybe we... Yes, you exclaim. You're still peering over the side, clinging to the screen so you don't accidentally flash anyone. Yes, I'd like to see your options. Hakamata nods, gesturing for Shinso to bring him one. Suzuki sighs irritatedly. Princess, with all due respect. With all due respect, I am the one to be wearing the dress, so I think I am well within my right to decide which one it is to be, you snap. They don't have a reply for that. Shinso walks over to give you the dress, and his fingers brush yours as you take it from his hands. Feisty, he murmurs under his breath, and you turn around to hide your smile. One of your maids helps you into the dress, and when you step up to the podium and see yourself in the mirror, you know this one's the one. You run your hands down the soft tulle and the skirt that perfectly circles your waist. The fabric is a mix of white and purple, colors fading into one another, with gold sequins sewn into the delicate material. This is the one I want, you say, turning around to see the back in the mirror. Hakamata smiles slightly. Perfect. He comes to stand behind you, cinching it a little more around your waist. I think I'll need to take it in a little here, but it'll be ready for tonight. Ah, perfect. You grin. Ito reaches forward, his hands hovering over the material. Hakamata bats him away, but he doesn't move. Are you sure? I have the purple one we could look at. No, I like this one, you say firmly. Are you sure? Suzuki also hovers on your other side. There are still a lot more options left, and this one, it's nice, yes, but I'm sure I can find something that flatters you a bit more. I like this one, though, you reply, but your voice is already getting weaker. You're already slightly regretting your choice under their scrutinizing gazes. Your confidence dwindles as they whisper between themselves, and you fiddle with the fabric, biting your cheek as you look at yourself harshly in the mirror. I think it flatters her just fine. Hakamata shoots them a look, but you're already losing interest. You sigh. Maybe we should just look at a few more, just in case. You hear a noise of disagreement from the back of the room. You look up in the mirror and catch Shinso's eyes. He stood dutifully at the back of the room, and his gaze hasn't left you since you walked in. I don't think you need to try on any more dresses, he says. Suzuki rolls her eyes. Of course, now the butler has an opinion. She mutters, throwing her waist measure on the tape. You pay her no mind. Your eyes are still trained on Shinso. Really? Yes, you look beautiful. You let out a breath of relief, his reassurance enough to quell all your worries. Okay, you're right, I'll take this one, please. It feels as if your English lessons fly by, mainly because you spend the whole time thinking about the ball later in the evening. You aren't nervous about it. You don't think you could be nervous over something you've done a million times. You just have no energy for it today. You wish you could just sit in the garden or read one of the novels your father had bought you from a few towns over. Anything at all. Instead, you're staring in front of the large ballroom doors, awaiting your announcement to enter the hall. Your face feels heavy with the makeup caked onto it, and your dress has been considerably tightened around your waist. and your chest is heaving out of your corset a little more than you feel comfortable with, and your heels you have on click as you tap your foot impatiently on the floor. You feel like a show pony, dressed up to be paraded around the room, and you know it will only get worse once you walk out there. Smile, princess, Shinso sings behind you. You wave him off. Technically, he doesn't need to be here. When you're at an event like this, he should wait in his room or with the other staff until you're finished and need him again. But he doesn't usually do that. He hovers around the edges of the ballroom, and you're thankful for it. The second you get bored or too tired, he's there to escort you back to your room. But today, you're in a bad mood, and his teasing smile is only making you feel worse. Shinso raises a brow at the expression on your face. Someone's grumpy. English lessons didn't go well. Don't be dense, Shinso, you grumble. I can't believe I have to spend the next few hours here in this stupid dress. At least it's beautiful. Very purple. I like that touch. That may or may not have to do something with why you liked the color so much. The lavender is suspiciously similar to the one on his head, but you don't dwell on it too much. You huff, fluffing the fabrics so they fall neatly around you. Your wit is unappreciated at this time. Shinso sighs wistfully, leaning against the wall beside him. You don't appreciate it any time. You hear your father wrapping up his welcome speech, and you know it's time for you to walk in soon. Shinso saddles up to your side and nudges your arm. It'll be fine, princess. You won't be in there for that long, and then you can complain about it all night to me. That eases you slightly. You nod, a small smile curling against your lips. All right. That'll tide me over, I suppose. As if on cue, the heavy doors of the ballroom open, and Shinso shuffles out of sight. It's a walk you've done a million times, down the middle of the room and up to join your father where he waits at the front. But your skin still crawls at all the eyes on you, hungry and searching and all over your body. But you ignore it, smile brightly, and keep your head high as you join your father. The party is the same as it always is. You go around and greet your guests for what feels like hours. They ask about your studies, about your father, but mostly about your youth and how quickly it's slipping away. A few of the more confident ones even slip in a few comments about babies, which you very dutifully ignore. Occasionally, when the conversation is dry, or someone is rattling on about something you've heard a million times before, your eyes drift around the room until they land on Shinso. You think he's always looking at you, because whenever you find him, his deep gaze is trained squarely on you. He makes faces at the more annoying guests and rolls his eyes when they talk too long, and you stifle your laughter behind sips of your champagne. It's nice. It feels like you have someone on your side. It doesn't get really bad until Kiego approaches you. You've spoken to him once or twice. He's one of your father's favorite suitors, a prince hailing from a kingdom too rich for its own good, but you hate his guts. He's handsome, sure, but that seems to be the only good trait he possesses. He's rude and conceited, and he seems to think that the ground he walks on is blessed. If you ended up married to him, you'd toss yourself off your bedroom balcony to get away from him. Your efforts to avoid him only go well for so long. He approaches you confidently, and you internally groan as he makes his way over to you. Your Majesty, he greets, placing a kiss on the back of your hand. You're trying very hard to hide the disgust on your face as he rises to his full height, smiling at you with teeth so white they reflect the light from the chandelier above you. Keiko, what a pleasure. The pleasure is all mine. Seems like it was impossible to get you alone tonight. Oh, yes. You laugh awkwardly. I was busy greeting all of my guests. I'm a guest too, no? One of the more important ones, I'd say. He grins. Right. You take a sip of your champagne. So, how have you been? Perfect. Keigo is standing far too close to you, and the smell of his cologne is strong and stings your nostrils. I just finished the furnishing in my new palace. Another one? Do you not already own two? Keigo smirks. You can never have too many. You should come by and see it. See them. You nod. Maybe one day. Maybe never. In one swift move, Keigo takes the champagne glass out of your hand. You furrow your brows. I was drinking that. He doesn't pay you any mind. He carelessly dumps it onto the tray on one of your maids, almost spilling it all over her. And before you can give her an apology, he's dragging you toward the middle of the room. The orchestra in the far corner of the room notices the commotion as people make space for the two of you and begin playing a slow ballad. You watch in horror as people couple up and gather around you, and you have no choice but to comply with his dancing. Keigo wastes no time in wrapping his arm around your waist and dragging your other hand up to his. The music crescendos and the two of you start flirting around the ballroom. You're not entirely sure how the two of you got into this situation, but you grit your teeth and let him spin you slowly. You're a great dancer, he muses. It's my duty to be, you reply, your hair fanning around you as he dips you down and lifts you up. Your eyes drift and you see Shinsou. He doesn't look happy. His body seems tense, and you watch him scan the way Keigo clings to your body, before he promptly turns away. So, Keigo begins, and your attention is drawn back to him. I think enough time has been wasted. Your brows furrow. What do you mean? You know what I mean, princess. The nickname tastes bitter coming from him, and you sigh irritably. I do not. Keigo chuckles like you're some blithering idiot, and when he speaks again, he does it slowly, like you're too stupid to understand him if he speaks any quicker. The marriage between our kingdoms, of course. If he sees the blood drain from your face, he makes no comment, just grips your hand with more purpose. Our fathers seem to be pleased, and let's be honest, you're not getting any younger. What did you just say to me? You snap, and he only smiles. It's true, my lady, but don't misunderstand me. You are still by far the prettiest thing I've ever set my eyes on. Let's just hope those looks age well, or I might have to upgrade to a newer model. And if his words didn't disgust you enough, the hand that's been circling your waist rises until he's practically fondling your chest, and you push him off like his touch burned your skin. Get off of me. Have you lost your mind? You hiss, and he has the audacity to look offended, like you had done something wrong. I think you've lost yours. Don't forget what I am to you. He snaps, and you laugh incredulously. You are nothing, you yell, and you don't care that half the room is staring at you now, because you've had enough. It's like the dam inside you that had been threatening to burst has finally exploded, and you feel so hot with rage that you have to clench your fists at your side to stop yourself from hitting him. I will never marry you. I will never. I would rather slit my own wrist than spend another second by your side. You ignore the gasps around the room, the sound of your voice echoing across the ballroom. You ignore the thunderous voice of your father and storm out, dress billowing behind you as the doors fly open. You head for the garden. This late in the evening, it will be empty, and the last thing you need is anybody in your way. None of the maids are stupid enough to try and approach you, and you're undisturbed as you finally make your way outside, the cool air soothing you slightly. You pace up and down the cobblestone path, your breath coming out fast and shaky, trying to calm yourself down. Your father will kill you for what you just pulled. The whole kingdom will exile you to the farthest village possible for the embarrassment you just caused them. And even though a small part of you feels vindicated for finally yelling at Kiego in the face, you know the consequences of that action will far outweigh any gratification you got from it. You slump down onto one of the wooden benches. You try not to cry. Really, you do. But you can't help the stinging behind your eyes, and the tears that smear the makeup that had been so carefully painted on your face hours before. You don't know if it's anger or sadness, or the accumulation of all the things you've been feeling for the past few weeks, but you can't stop them anyway. You're alone, so luckily there's nobody else to see you. You feel pathetic. You don't have many girlfriends you'd trust with something like this, and your maids would only listen for the gossip. It's when you're feeling extremely alone that Shinso finds you, as he always does. You hear his footsteps thundering up the path, and when you lift your head up to meet his gaze, his face is creased with worry. It worsens when he sees your tear-stricken face, and he sits beside you. No, don't cry. They're not sad tears. I'm really pissed. You sniff, and Shinso breathes a laugh. His hand rubs soothing circles onto your back, and the feeling of his skin on yours feels better than you'd like to admit. It isn't like Kiego, where you felt like your body was setting itself on fire trying to reject him. No, your body feels on fire for entirely different reasons. You wipe furiously at your face, and you're sure you've smudged your makeup terribly. I can't believe him. Did you see what he did? How he grabbed me? Shinso's hand slides down and grabs yours. I saw. Yeah, you always do. If only you could have helped me. You pout. Well, if it wouldn't have ended with my head on a stake, I would have loved to jump to your rescue, he muses, and you shake your head. You rub at your eyes again, and Shinso huffs a laugh. You look at him curiously, and he points at your face. Your mascara. You look like a panda. He swipes under your eye slightly. A very angry panda. I am very angry. You should have heard what he was saying. Just disgusting. He's a degenerate. Princess. He's intolerable. He's... Listener. Shinso says more firmly, and your mouth clicks shut. He looks good right now. His cheeks are slightly flushed from his run to find you. His hair is so perfectly disheveled and fluttering in the wind. He's wearing a tux, a cheap one, but it still fits him perfectly. And from where he's sitting, the moon reflects over him in a way that makes him look a little otherworldly, like something too good to be human. You don't catch what he says, too distracted by his pretty face to hear him. Sorry, what? Shinso smiles. I said, why don't I take you back to your room, and you can calm down and get yourself to bed? You bite at your lip. What about my father? Shinso waves you off. He won't say anything. He's too busy trying to calm down the crowd at the ball. You groan, burying your face in your hands. God, I should not have done that. It was quite attractive to watch. Your head shoots up, and he's looking at you with a grin that should be illegal, with the way it makes your toes curl in your heels. Shut it. You stand up, face on fire. Will do. He escorts you to your room quickly, avoiding any unwanted interactions. He stands guard outside your door, and you hear him turn away the few people who try to enter your room, insisting that you're not well enough to talk to anyone. You wash your face slowly, wiping away the tear tracks and ruined makeup. You undress yourself as best as you can, but still struggle after getting your heels and stockings off. You try your best to undo the corset on your dress, but it's too difficult to untie on your own. The lace is far back and way too tight. It took 3 people to get you into this dress. You won't be enough to get yourself out of it. After struggling for 5 minutes, you consider cutting yourself out of it. but the dress is too nice for that. There's no maid you can ask. You're too embarrassed to be seen by anyone right now, except for the man standing outside of your room. You peek your head around your bedroom door. Shinso is leaning against the wall, his tie loosened and his hand in his pockets. "Shinso," you whisper, "can you help me get this dress off?" Shinso raises a brow, his eyes flitting up and down your body. "You're moving fast. Shouldn't I propose first?" "Shut up and get in here." You scold, and he follows your orders quickly. The door clicks shut softly behind him. The light in your room is dim, only coming from a few candles you have lit around the room. The place is always clean. The maids don't even let a speck of dust land on any of your furniture. No clutter or any sort of mess. You're thankful for them, of course, but sometimes you feel like your room is a set. Not somewhere you live, but it's home, you suppose. Shinso definitely feels at home. In your bedroom, you two can ditch the boundaries you have to keep when you're in public. He stretches himself out onto your bed, tossing his suit jacket onto the chair on your vanity. You roll your eyes at him. "Can you stop stretching on my bed and help me?" "Apologies." He gets to his feet and stands behind you. You move your hair out of the way. This feels oddly reminiscent of this morning, but with your heart feeling a lot heavier than it did then. Shinso nearly groans at the sight of the complicated knots of your corset. "So many knots. Do they really all need to be here?" "Well, unless you'd like me to reveal my chest to half of the kingdom, then yes, they do." Shinso laughs, and his breath is warm against your neck. "I definitely don't want that." He begins to untie them slowly. "Are you feeling any better?" You hum. "Slightly. The anger has faded and embarrassment is starting to kick in." "It wasn't embarrassing," he reassures you. "No, it was." "Maybe. It was entertaining at least," he murmurs, and you wince. "Is Kiego really that bad?" You shake your head. "He's worse. He told me that my father has basically chosen him to be my suitor." Shinso's hand frees on your back. "He did?" You try not to read into it. You really do. But it's late, and you feel weak after crying, and you read into it as everything you want it to be. "Yes, but I won't." Shinso finally untangles the last string, and your hands come up to hold the corset in place. "Listener, I don't care. I can't marry him." You take a step away from Shinso, like the distance will make the tension in the room any less stifling. It doesn't help. You can feel his presence behind you. You can feel him looking at the contours of your back. He shouldn't be seeing you like this, not even thinking about you like this. But you can't bring yourself to care. "Because of the whole disgusting degenerate thing?" Shinso teases lightly, but it falls flat. "Yes, and something else." "The blonde hair?" You know he's trying to joke with you to make this easier. You don't fall for the bait. Instead, you turn, and his face looks as full of yearning as your heart feels. And it's the way he's looking at you now, the way he's always looking at you, that gives you the courage to do what the two of you have been dancing around for months. "You know why," you whisper. Shinso breathes out, his body deflating. He steps back, shaking his head. "Don't do this." "Why? It's about time, no?" You plead, and he shakes his head furiously. "You can't. We both can't." He snaps. He puts even more distance between the two of you, his knees hitting the back of your bed, and you rush to close it. And why not? Are you not sick of this? This waiting between the two of us for something to happen? You fidget with your corset. hastily tying it behind you so that it won't fall as you walk after him. He holds his hand out and you stop. He walks swiftly to the door, fingers itching against the handle. But he doesn't leave. Shinso just stands there. Because once we do this, we can never go back. I don't want to go back. I. You look a mess. You're sure of it. You ditched your crinoline so your dress hangs around your feet, and your corset is slanted across your chest from where you'd haphazardly tied it. Your face is bare, and most likely tinted red from your efforts to scrub your makeup off. And still, he looks at you like you're the most beautiful thing he's ever seen, and it makes your heart ache and you shake your head. I want you. I want you, Shinso, you whisper. Not them, and I can't keep pretending anymore. Princess, his voice is strained. Please. Every second I'm in those ridiculous balls, I'm just waiting until I can see you. It's always been you, Shinso. He hasn't said anything, which is strange, because he never doesn't have something to say, to murmur to you when you have to be serious. He's just looking at you, eyes flitting between yours desperately, his fingers still wrapped around the handle. You fiddle with your hands nervously. Shinso, please say something. He doesn't. You swallow roughly as the seconds drag on for what feels like hours. Okay, okay. I just embarrassed myself for a second time today. It's okay, you can leave, pretend I said nothing. You laugh awkwardly, trying to push him out the door. But he doesn't budge. Shinso finally lets go of the door and wraps his hand around yours. You don't have time to question what he's doing, because in one swift motion, he's pulling you towards him and closes the gap between the two of you, his lips pressing desperately against yours. For a moment, you think you're dreaming, because this has been the subject of so many of your fantasies, you don't really think it's happening. But it's real. His warm lips move against yours, and your teeth click against his, out of practice. His hand slides down from where they cup your cheek to grip your waist and pull you closer until your chest bumps into his. You let out a deep sigh, hands curling into his soft hair, tugging at the strands and eliciting a groan from his chest. His kiss is hungry, years of feelings festering between the two of you thrumming through your veins. He breaks apart, and his lips are slick with your spit, and his chest heaves as he tries to catch his breath. Fuck. His hands squeeze where they wrapped around your waist. What are we doing? Kissing? You grin, pressing a soft one to his cheek, hands gliding over his muscular arms. He shakes his head, but he puts up no resistance as you kiss his cheeks again, then his jaw, and the soft junction of his neck. This is stupid. We shouldn't be doing this. We're already doing it, you whisper against his skin, and Shinso pulls you back to face him. His voice is soft and serious when he speaks, and the heat in your stomach only worsens at the careful way he's looking at you. I need you to be sure this is what you want, and I need you to understand how serious this is. His hand cups your face, and his thumb runs over the curve of your cheek. You're sure you're looking at him with stars in your eyes, and you nod frantically. Very serious. Shinso's tongue pokes at his cheek, and he gives your cheek a light tap. He grins at the way your eyes light up at the contact. Be serious. You hum, I am, and this is what I want. All right then. Alright, that's the end of this one. I hope you guys enjoyed, especially since this video is longer than normal. As always, links will be in the description. This fanfic is continued, but I can't read it on YouTube, the rest of it. I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, whatever, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!